On the next project that you're going to do, we're going to do something a little bit different than what we have been doing on the rest of the artboards. We're going to use the artboard that's right to the right of the gradient map. You should have already finished the gradient map. Do that one before you move on. And you look here, these are gonna, I'm gonna teach you a completely new feature of Photoshop, and it's called blending options. So I went over here to that artboard and I clicked on it and I renamed it layer blending options. And I've left this one unmerged so that you can see all of the parts. So I'm gonna hide these two so we can actually look at these images on the right here. You can see the little preview of this image is yellow, but over here it appears blue. So I want to show you why that's happening. If you go up here, it should say normal on your computer, and you can see that's the normal view of that layer. It's yellow. And if I hide that layer, you can see here's the photograph that I took in class. This is an image that I downloaded from the internet. So I just went into Safari and I selected free grunge textures and I downloaded an image from some website that was free, and I just drug it into this um, artboard so I could use it. But I'm not particularly interested in the yellow. I kind of liked just the texture that was on that layer. So I started to go to the layer blending options and scrolling down to see what each of these options would do. And what it does is it takes this and it blends it with the image that's directly below it. And so I really wasn't happy with the yellow. Of course, I could come in here and I could put a color balance on here. I could manipulate the color if I wanted to change that into a different color. But I don't want to do that. You can do that, but I chose not to. Instead, when I found the layer blending called Divide, I kind of thought that was an interesting mashup. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that one and merge those together. So I'll hit Shift and merge those. And I'm going to merge the layers. And that's what I ended up with. So what I ended up with was this yellow border because actually that image was still there. So I don't want that yellow border. I don't actually think that looks that interesting around there. So in this case, I'll take the marquee tool and I can draw a box around the part of the image that I don't want, and I can hit the delete key, but I need to make sure that I'm on the right layer. The marquee tool creates these things called dancing ants or marching ants. You can see they're kind of like little dots that look like they're spinning around the object. And what that does is it says anything that's inside that marquee, this is the marquee, is active. Anything outside of it is inactive, meaning that it won't work. So I've selected this area. That's why when I hit the delete key on the keyboard, I can delete it. To get rid of it, I can just click off of it and it goes away. Then I'll go back to the move tool and scoot that over just a little bit. So let's turn on the other image to show you what that looks like. This image I treated a little bit differently. I found this texture, I thought it was really interesting. And when I put this image over it, I used the same photo that I used over here. I was going down and I just thought the texture was too powerful. It just was blowing out the image. It didn't look that great. And then when I came down here, I thought, okay, well, maybe that's interesting. Maybe that's interesting. And when I got all the way down here to saturation, I thought that was pretty cool how it actually changed it pink. And so I'm going to leave it this pink color and stick with it. And then I'll use that in the next project. So I'm going to merge those together. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to merge layers. I don't need this color balance adjustment layer anymore, so I'm going to delete that. This was another image that I had found that I ended up not using. I'm going to delete that as well just to keep my document clean. So again, layer blending options is right here. You can use any of these. You're experimenting with two of those. Um, with you're experimenting with two different projects. If I wanted to, I could bring this over here. I could move it on top. I could go and try to blend those together to see if that makes something interesting. I don't think that's very interesting, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with what I have.